Yo, what is up? I broke my hand. Peep the cool creeper cast. Anyway, it has been a while. This upload might come as a surprise to maybe anybody watching this video from the last one. That being like the only video on this channel. We had a lot of things planned, but I guess just to get down to the point of it, life's gotten really busy, really hectic, really fast. First thing you might notice is I'm doing this video by myself, and that's because Alex has actually moved. He's still within, driving distance. We are definitely still in contact and plan to do more content in the future, but we had already talked about, maybe continuing doing videos on our own, on the channel, just, separate styles, keeping things going. But I sat on that for a bit and didn't really know how to feel. But I guess after a bit more, thinking, I really didn't see much wrong with continuing posting on here, just for the sole fact that we only had one video. So yeah, with that out of the way, today's video is a bit of a different one. It's not a review. However, I just kind of want to go on a little rant, I guess, just because this whole thing happened very spontaneously. And I just thought I wanted to share it with everybody on here because, with the Switch 2 coming out tomorrow and everything, I thought this would be really cool. Just like I said, to share with everybody and, document my experience. So recently I've been really into collecting Nintendo merch, and specifically the old clothing lines of Nintendo merch, like the hats. Like this one right here, I have this Nintendo 64 Super Mario 64 Kellogg's collab. And this one you would get back in the day by mailing out a box top, I believe, on a box of cereal, and they would send you this hat in the mail as a promotion, I believe, for the game. And that got me thinking, there is not a lot of cool stuff like that these days with companies in general. Going down that rabbit hole, I was coming across very, very high prices, for items like this. For example, there's also this Star Fox baseball cap that you would also get by mailing in a box top, I believe. And this one is also a Kellogg's collab, but it doesn't have the Kellogg's logo on it like Mario does. However, these hats, they cost a pretty penny. They're not cheap to get, but to an extent, I can kind of understand why. They're not produced anymore. They're hard to come by, and the conditions can vary. For example, this one ran me about $100, which is pretty steep for a hat. And however, it did come in the plastic bag that it originally was sent out in, so that was cool. But then that got me thinking, why are some people selling current lines of Nintendo clothing for so much money when they're still being made? It makes no sense, and it's honestly started bothering me to the point where I couldn't find anything that was being resold at a decent price. Everything was being scalped. And I can kind of get, yeah, some store exclusives are hard to come by, but at the same time, if items are still being made, it was really like hard to wrap my head around the fact that some people were charging like upwards of like $300 for an item, that's still being made. I know like the Zelda Korok sweaters and other things that are exclusive to the Super Nintendo stores are just being marked up like ridiculously high. And people are doing it because they know that they can get away with it, because Nintendo fans, let's be real, they'll pay for anything, no matter the price. Let me rephrase that again. So specifically, I've been really interested in this Pikmin hat that you can only get either at one of their stores, one of their very few stores, or online. But as you can see here on Instagram, Nintendo recently made a post about the Pikmin hat being restocked, and everybody in the comment section is complaining about there not being a restock online. and when the restock was coming. And I was one of those people for a while, not commenting about it, but kind of keeping my eye out on the hat and when it was gonna get restocked, just because I really liked it. I thought it was cool and I wanted one. I ended up going out of my way to maybe look on, like, you know, third-party site like eBay or Mercari, and there was like little to no post about this item. And the few posts that I was coming across were just ridiculously priced, like upwards of $400 for a hat that's still being made to this day. So I'm just sitting there and I'm just irritated, one, at these scalpers, and two, that, you know, they're getting away with it because people are paying this money for these items, and you just got to sit and ask yourself, you know, is there a different way to go about it? And fortunately there is. And that's when I got the bright idea to, you know, really sit back and think outside the box. Okay, what's a good way, you know, to get my hands on one of these things without breaking the bank? I would say it took about like 5 minutes for me to come to the conclusion that I needed to reach out to the community on this one and see if anybody could help me, and just really try to get personal, and just get back out there and connect with people like we used to. I wasn't really having the highest hopes for this, just because, you know, especially the internet, it's kind of hard to trust people, whether you're being the one message or you're messaging somebody. You don't know people's intentions, regardless of what end you're on. So going into this, I didn't really have the highest hopes of, you know, gaining anything, but I thought it was worth a shot. I tried looking around on Reddit, looking on Reddit threads on there and seeing if there was, you know, anybody in New York or who had an extra, you know, one of these hats in their possession. I could buy off of them. And then after no luck, I kind of gave up a little bit. It was just, you know, went about my life. And one week, randomly on Instagram, I was scrolling, and I don't know if anybody has ever gotten the random recommendations from threads on your occasional, like, every other post, but I had gotten a threads post. And I don't know about any of you, but anytime I come across a post on threads, it almost feels like the people on the app are just not real. So really, when it came to that, I really had no hope as much as I did on Reddit. But this specific post pertained to the new Super Nintendo store that opened up in San Francisco recently. And I had not even realized they were opening a store so soon. I had seen posts about it going around, but, you know, like, I don't live in the area, so I didn't really think twice about it. But seeing this post was by the user Sophia, and in her post, it was a picture that looked like it was taken inside the Super Nintendo store. I believe it was like after the second day, and the shelves were just wiped out, like they were cleaned out. And something in the caption said something like, you know, if you're thinking of coming to the Super Nintendo store, you know, you might want to think about it, because the lines, you know, they're really long and they're wiped out. It might not be worth waiting. And, you know, what do you know? In the background of one of those photos is those Pikmin corduroy hats. And then that's when it dawned upon me that this might be my opportunity to getting my hands on one of these things. I initially hopped on threads, direct messenger. You know, I had that voice in the back of my head telling me, like, this might not be, you know, even like worth giving a shot. This person might not even reply. Just based on my experience with threads in the past, I was already skeptical on people being legit on there. So I ended up going on Instagram and searching up Sophia. And what do you know? The same account comes up, same picture, everything. It's public, it's got a link, and they actually had a YouTube account. I clicked on it, and, you know, just to plug them really quick, they got some really good content. I sat and watched some videos before sending out the DM on Instagram. They have lots of variety in terms of what they do. You know, They talk to people around their area.
Hey Brewster, can you tell me what the Internet Archive is?
Yeah, the Internet Archive is a non-profit library. We're bringing public domain to everyone, part of democracy's library. Actually, let me just show you. Well, all the books, music, video, web pages, software, TV that we have. Every time a person uses the Internet Archive, uploads or downloads, there's a little light that flashes.
They go review food.
Our first stop today, the Golden Garden Restaurant. Claims to have the best art carts in all of Hong Kong. I'll be the judge of that. First, some Hong Kong milk tea. Ooh, that just came out. It's actually so jiggly.
Just random things, you know, that are just cool. Shot a DM on Instagram, you know, asking them, hey, I saw your post on Threads, and, you know, I'm not from that area, I'm really far, and we'd love to go visit there someday, you know, my family, but it's just not, you know, it's really not realistic for us. Is there any way, you know, I could pay you to get us some things? And they were, you know, totally down for it. They said, yeah, like that's cool. You know, I would just ask, you know, you pay, maybe I ask you pay for my time, you know, standing there since the lines are long. And you know, I was totally cool with that, because you see the lines that are there out front of the Super Nintendo store, they're pretty big. So, you know, I thought it was totally fair to, you know, pay this person for their time and, you know, just make really cool memories out of it. And they ended up, you know, squaring everything away with me through DMs. So we talked back and forth for a little bit about what we thought the best course of action would be on a fair payment. And we ended up coming to the conclusion that the San Francisco per hour rate was fair. And that was it. It was settled. We set a day. We ended up picking it was a Tuesday, I believe. And yeah, it was pretty much set in stone. From there, we just stood in contact. We chatted a little bit about different things, you know, such as the lines or their experience when they went, that they did it for friends as well. I'll put the DMs on the screen just so you can read them for yourself. Feel free to pause. But yeah, we squared everything away. It was really stressful because, you know, for a while there was a couple of times where I was like, you know, this isn't gonna happen. Things are just, you know, looking really tight in terms of the stock they might have. You know, they were telling me, oh, they just got wiped out, but they had word on the street from an insider that they might be restocking soon, and just all kinds of things, you know, in the back of my head. So Tuesday comes around and Sophia messages me that they're on their way to the store. And upon getting there, they sent me this picture, which was just really cool to see. And also just kind of like, oh man, this is making me nervous. Like, what if they don't have anything? What if this is a waste of both of our times? Like, I'll feel so bad having them go, you know, out of their way to do all this for nothing. They told me, like, is it cool if I FaceTime you? And when I get in, I think it would probably be easier than sending a bunch of text messages. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So, you know, I didn't get footage of that, you know, just out of respect for them. But it was a very, I will say it was a very detailed walkthrough. We went through the whole store, you know, even if it was things that we weren't interested in. They were just pointing out items to me. Hey, you know, what do you think about this? They got this. They also have knickknacks, you know, other stuff, like just everything. Like I said, if it wasn't on the list, we were seeing it regardless and getting that firsthand walkthrough. So it was just really cool that they went not only to the store to do that first, but they went above and beyond. And like, seriously, shouts out to them. Shout out to Sophia if you're watching this video. We went through a whole walkthrough with them. We got items. Some that were on the list. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get, but there were some cool substitutes that came along. She ended up picking out something for herself as well. Like we gave her, like, you know, like the okay, so yeah, grab something, like, you know, just a little token of our appreciation. But yeah, after a lot of back and forth, we ended up getting everything handled. Payments were sent. Things took a couple days to get there. So we got the box. There's all the stuff that we picked out. Pretty heavy. It seems like everything came intact, but I'm gonna open this up and just kind of go through the things that came in. This is my first time purchasing anything from this store, but I'm really excited to get into this thing and check it out. There's some cool items in here, so let's just get into it. Opening this thing up is a bit hard without a left hand and without a knife. I did all of that with this guitar pick, but we're in. Box is open. I'm just gonna pull things out here one at a time, and I'll go over who it's for and yeah, just show it off. So first thing out of the box that I'm seeing, I'm just gonna grab this. This wasn't on the list. This is just a little goodie. This is a Pikmin Bloom. It looks like a sticker, I believe. I'm gonna cover, there's a QR code up on here. I don't know if there's something to redeem, but it's a Pikmin Bloom sticker. And this was actually for, I believe, an event they were having across the street from the Super Nintendo store in San Francisco. When Sophia went, she actually told me when they were leaving, hey, there's a pop-up booth across the street that's giving out some items. And they asked me if they'd like me to go check that out. And I was like, yeah, totally. If you're willing to go over there, I would love that. Pikmin's one of my favorite Nintendo franchises. So, you know, I was super stoked about that, and they had no problem going over there, and they picked me up some items from over there. And it looks like right here, there's another one. This one also has a QR code on it. This one, I don't think it's any redeemable, so I'm gonna go ahead and show this one. This one has like the 3 little base Pikmin on there with the QR code. Got 3 little Pikmin on there. QR code. And then on the back here, you actually have a cool little comic strip featuring Olimar. And it's got the little promotional Pikmin 4 character that's used on the key art and Moss. I've always wondered why they used her for the promotional art rather than Olimar. It always seems like they've pushed Olimar a bit out of the spotlight when it comes to the new Pikmin franchise. Like, he's still in there, but he's not really the forefront of it. They're kind of more trying to focus on the actual creatures. I'm not sure why. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but Olimar is a really cool character, so I feel like he's kind of being done a little bit dirty. But another cool thing I'm seeing here, right out the box, is this Pikmin, this red Pikmin Bloom hat. This is really cool. That was given at that pop-up booth across the street that I mentioned. The back is a QR code there as well. So on this, it tells you how to put the hat together. All instructions right there. Little Pikmin carrying the QR code. You could scan that. I'm not sure what that entails. I'll probably check those out. More logos. But this is really cool. It's a little paper hat. My head's kind of big, so I don't think this is gonna fit. I guess this is the way it's supposed to sit on your head. My head's a little too big, but cool little thing to have nonetheless. Little Pikmin, little red paper Pikmin hat. So nice on the collection. The wall over there, or near the little Pikmin standee. Next in the box is a little blue Pikmin. Little blue Pikmin plush. It's like a medium-sized plush. This guy can be, I think, hung up as a keychain. Oh no, this one's not a keychain. This one's just a little plush. Sorry. Little plushy guy. Got a little tag. So yeah, we got a blue Pikmin inside. Next, got a yellow Pikmin. Usually, I feel like the yellow Pikmin are the ones that have the flower on top of their head mostly. Normally I see the blue one has the bud, and even in the promotional artwork, the blue one has the flower bud and the yellow one has the actual flower. So I'm not sure why there's no consistency there. I don't know if that's just me complaining, but still really cool nonetheless. And inside the box, we also have a medium red Pikmin. And as you can see, he also has the leaf, like the promotional artwork. So they're all really cool. I'm just not sure why there wasn't any consistency across the board here. But regardless, these are really cool to have. They're the medium-sized ones. There was bigger ones and tinier ones, but these are the medium ones, and they're just the base 3 colors. So for reference, next to my head, it's pretty big guy. Pretty cool thing to have. And funny enough, this isn't from the Super Nintendo store, but I got this on the website. It's the Olimar. And I believe he's from the same similar set because he has the same tag, but he pairs up nicely compared to them in the size. Obviously he should be a bit bigger than them, but you know, they're toys. But you know, all together, they make a pretty good bunch. So got 3 Pikmin toys in the box. I'm missing Louie, so I don't got Louie. They took him off the website for some reason. I swear to God he was up there, but he's gone. Going forward with the package, we have yet more Pikmin items. And inside this one, we have the actual keychains that I thought I was pulling out. These ones are the mini little yellow dude. These are perfect size, throw on a little lanyard or something, or your keys, you know, your little belt loop. You know, you're feeling cheeky, take one of these with you, and you hang it on the head of your guitar, whatever. But these ones are really cute. I thought these would be perfect for me and my mom. We both got one of these for our keys. So just 2 of those in the box. Getting on to some of the bigger items, or interesting ones, I'll start with this one. This is for my mom. This is a Pikmin vase. And for some reason in the video call, it looked bigger, but this honestly is perfect. I don't think this is any issue whatsoever. It's a perfectly little vase holder. It's got the yellow Pikmin on it, and you could put something inside of it. Let me see if I can open it up in here. But this is for my mom. She wanted this. She thought it was super cute, and it's already looking super cute. And yep, this thing is super cool, really clean. This little yellow Pikmin sitting there, and on the butt is a little Nintendo logo. See that there? Put a little flower in there. Perfect. So we'll go on to some of the bigger items that we got over here in the package. Okay, first thing I see next is we got this cool Nintendo San Francisco baseball hat in red. There was a gray one, but got the red one just because it kind of reminded me of Diddy Kong. I always wondered why they don't sell Nintendo logos purely with that logo on there, like the Diddy Kong hat that he likes to wear. But the ones I've noticed that come with the logo on there, usually it has like a different like subtext underneath it. It's either usually San Francisco, Tokyo, or New York. But this is the San Francisco one, obviously, because it's from the San Francisco store. And I just thought it'd be cool to have, you know, a piece of the actual standalone merch that comes for the store. They were saying anything with the red tag, I guess apparently is exclusive to those stores. So this is cool to have. Go ahead and try it on, a little perspective here. This thing is really cool. This thing's really, really cool. I prefer to have my hats more with the flat bill, so I'll probably eventually bend this thing out straight, have it more, you know, snapbacky. But I mean, for now, this thing is really dope, really cool, really clean. Now I'm gonna save these for last just because we already know what's up with these. Going forward, we have, this is for my mom, and this is really cool, a Mario Kart circuit jacket. And this thing is really, really clean. You got the whole thing in the frame there. On the front, you got different like little logos. Just from various, I believe, advertisements around the game. I'm not sure if any of these are actually in the game. On the chest, you got the little Mario Kart, the mushroom, and the flags. On the arm, you got little patches. This one's a little mushroom, 1992. I believe that's when the first game came out, Super Mario Kart. Little Mario on the arm. On the other arm, you got 3 more logos. You got a little Bowser one, Lakitu, and just a Mario Kart logo. And on the back is a repeating mushroom with 3 flags. And the coolest part about this one is the inside actually has a little unique branding. All up in there, just different, all over the whole thing. Really, really cool. Oh, and apparently I missed, there is a cuff one. This is cool. You got the lightning. Zap everybody. There's nothing else. Nope. I was expecting a blue shell for some reason to be on this arm, but apparently it just got the lightning. This is a medium. Again, this is for my mom, so she'll be super stoked to see this. So yeah, Mario Kart jacket. I'm actually really excited for this one. This is a button-up Pikmin shirt. The cool thing about this shirt is it has Pikmin on it, and specifically, it's got the little red one who's carrying away the button. See that there? Got the blue one, the red one right there. He's carrying the button. And you got the little yellow one just chilling on the pocket there. The cool thing about this shirt is, although it looks like it's missing a button, that button is hidden underneath right there. Still buckled in. So if you really want to have that thing, secured, you still can. It just for the look of it. And same thing with this one. This was one of the items I was worried about because when I was on the call with Sophia, this was the last 2XL. So I got the last one, which was really cool. So I'm super excited about this thing. Super clean, the whole thing. Pretty basic. It's only got the little front items to worry about or to look at. 3 Pikmin, really nothing else on the back. Just plain brown button up buttons. Moving on to the last items in the box. This one wasn't a purchasable item, but this is what you get when you spend $50 or more at the Super Nintendo store. You get one of these collective coins. And last one they had was Mario. So, I didn't really have too much of an option when it came to picking one, but Mario's the OG. You can't go wrong with him. Put a little bit in the corner. So, San Francisco Nintendo. It's got the day, May 15th on it. So this is really cool. You get you can get up to a couple different characters. I really wanted the Pikmin one, obviously. But there's Link, I believe Ganondorf. I might be wrong. But there's a couple different characters for these ones. Collect, and go figure, people are reselling the whole set on the internet for a bunch of money, and we don't talk about those kinds of people on here because we'll just be saying a bunch of not so nice stuff. Going into the last of the box, we got the Pikmin hat, baby. We got the Pikmin corduroy hat. And just give you a second to appreciate all of its glory. So yeah, this is a thing that people were charging $500 fucking for, and it's here. We have it now. We didn't pay an arm and a leg. We did pay a lot of money for this, you know, whole experience, but not nearly as much as we would have paid for a single item. And I spent around what I was comfortable with and what I knew I would spend. If anyone wants to go ahead and take a guess of how much you think I spent for all this and the shipping combined, go ahead, leave a comment. I'll heart the comments that are closest to the price, letting you know, that you're on the money. But we actually got 2 of these. One's for me, one's for my mom. And these were actually the last 2 of these Pikmin hats when Sophia went and we were on FaceTime. Much like the Pikmin shirt, because these are actually supposed to be paired up together. You can already tell, like similar in color and style. So I got the last 2XL and we got the last 2 of these hats, which is just absolutely insane because this was pretty much the reasoning that kind of started this whole thing. Inside you got a little green colorish Pikmin logo all up on there. Some little flowers or shamrocks. Go ahead and throw this on, give this a try. And there we have it. There it is. Tier. Oh yeah. Super hyped on this thing. This is probably already my favorite hat. Usually the hat I wear most of the time is this Donkey Kong Country one. Very similar in style, corduroy. So, you add Pikmin to that style and I'm sold, So we got 2 of these. Like I said, one's for me, one's for my mom. But other than that, that's pretty much the whole package here. That's everything. Like I said, really cool thing here that happened. I just really wanted to come on here and just share my overall experience with this situation. Because I just thought it's really cool how the community could come together and make something like this happen. Especially, like I said, this day and age where people are just really weird. You don't know what people's intentions are. So the fact that this person, really pulled together this whole thing and made this happen, I'm just like, I'm over the moon about it. And now I got this cool hat out of it and got these other cool things over here to share with you all. Sorry about the bed. I was in the middle of cleaning my room when I decided to shoot this video and I didn't get to finish making my bed. But yeah, overall I'm just really excited about it. I'm a huge Pikmin fan, love the franchise. Huge Nintendo fan as well, love Nintendo. But what they've been doing recently, it's pretty sketchy. So going forward, I don't know, man. But that's pretty much it. I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate Sophia, especially. Thank you so much again if you're watching this video. Shouts out to you. You were awesome. I'm gonna put a link in the bio for Sophia's YouTube channel. You can find it in the comment section or, like I said, down below. Go check out their channel. They got some really interesting stuff on there that I think is worth checking out. But that's pretty much it. Thank you for checking out the video. Thanks everybody for watching. Again, I just really thought that this was cool how the community could come together and make something like this happen, especially amongst the Nintendo community right now. I feel like there's like a big divide amongst people fighting about the Switch 2 prices and other stuff. Like, that's totally reasonable and understandable. But at the end of the day, it is cool to kind of come back, to home base and just, really realize like, hey, like we're all on the same boat. We both like the same stuff. We just, have different opinions on them. And, opinions, what they say about opinions. Everyone's got them. Like the video, subscribe if you're new. This is our first video in a while. So I just thought I wanted to make it something a little bit different. Yeah, just stay tuned for more. Peace.